Oh, I saw this one. This one is stellar. I cannot believe this, man. Yes, please. Mating press trending only on X. Thank you, Elon.
I have to say, Miriam, I watched Sheldon sitting so proud in the White House when we gave Miriam the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest award you can get as a civilian. It's the equivalent of the Congressional Medal of Honor, but civilian version. It's actually much better because everyone gets the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's soldiers. They're either in very bad shape because they've been hit so many times by bullets, or they're dead. She gets it, and she's a healthy, beautiful woman. It's very...
Genuinely incredible. For those of you who aren't American, the Medal of Honor is... Hey, they named the whole game franchise after it. The Medal of Honor is the highest decoration any member of the armed forces can receive. It's considered a great honor. That's why they call it the Medal of Honor. And Donald Trump here is like, yeah, the Presidential Medal of Freedom's way better. You know, the people who get the Medal of Honor, they're dead. They're dead, or they're all mangled. They've got bullet holes in them. They're all blown up and ugly. But this beautiful lady right here that I gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom, look at how pretty she is, huh? This is who he's talking about, by the way. You can give the presidential a mega donor to the Republican Party, largest supporter of Donald Trump. Wow, an Israeli American. Major donor to Trump's presidential campaigns, as well as his 2017 presidential inauguration and his legal defense fund against the Mueller investigation into Russian interference. Yeah, you can give the Presidential Medal of Freedom to, like, anyone for any reason, you know? You can just give that shit out for free. That you might as well make that's out of tin, you know? It's nothing. You can buy awards now. Well, not the Medal of Honor. The Medal of Honor is something. Donald Trump's just giving her the Medal of Freedom, or gave her the Medal of Freedom because she provided money for his campaign. It was given in 2018, see? They gave one to Rush Limbaugh, George Carlin. Yeah. It's a civilian award. And it's just done by the president. Like, it's just like, Donald Trump could have given this to every member of his family and every Republican in the country if he wanted to. Who cares? So I don't give a shit about honoring the troops because I'm based. But this is actually a pretty wild level of disrespect to our veterans. Like a genuine, like Donald Trump has said a lot of stuff that's pretty disrespectful to the veterans. This is pretty high up there, you know? He really hates veterans. It's very funny to me, but probably less so to veterans, you know? And Vance is backing him up. Oh, please. Please, yes. Oh, absolutely.
This is a guy who loves our veterans and who honors our veterans. I don't think him complimenting and saying a nice word about a person who received the Presidential Medal of Freedom is in any way denigrating those who received military honors. They're two different awards, and I think the president was saying some nice things about a person.
He said it's much better than. The clip is right here. He said it's much better than. Whatever. I strongly encourage them to run on this, okay? Yeah, as your campaign advisor, I'm strongly encouraging you to make the Presidential Medal of Freedom better than, like, make that it's being superior to the Medal of Honor, the core campaign issue, you know? Do they ever communicate? Trump and Vance? I have a feeling they don't have a very cohesive campaign. That woman basically called for the campus protest to be killed. Quoteth, she's an Israeli-American 78-year-old mega donor to Donald Trump. I'm sure she literally wants Palestinians put in a blender. Quote, those ghastly gatherings of radical Muslim and BLM activists, ultra-progressives, and career agitators were nothing short of street parties. These people are not our critics. They are our enemies, the ideological enablers in the West of those who will go to any length to eradicate us from the Middle East, and as such, they should be dead to us.
However, Kelly sets the record straight with on-the-record confirmation of a number of damning details about Donald Trump from background sources, including from a 2020...
I remember this one, man. This was a classic. Trump was desperate to deny this, by the way. If Trump loses... How many veterans are in there in this country? The main problem with, like, veterans as a political group is that because they're veterans, their brain is broken. And that is one of the main issues in their life. You know what I mean? It's not like that is a defining characteristic. It's a determining factor. So you go after veterans, you disrespect veterans, you know, you mobilize the group against yourself pretty heavily. Veterans are not as right-leaning as people think. It's mostly cops that are, you know? It's mostly cops that are really right-leaning. How many veterans in America? A few million, but enough to win you a few swing states, that's for sure. 18 million veterans in the United States. That's crazy. That's crazy. 6.8% of the population 18 or older. That's a lot of people.
Funny Atlantic story, reported with unnamed sources by editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg, including the stunning detail that Trump turned to Kelly on Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery in 2017 and asked, "I don't get it. What was in it for them?" This is Kelly confirming on the record stories of Trump insulting Senator John McCain and former President George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, like soldiers who don't
because
get
in
captured.
Vietnam and in World War II, respectively, the former aviators were shot down. Kelly describes Trump as, quote, "a person that thinks those who defend their country in uniform or are shot down or seriously wounded in combat or spend years being tortured as POWs are all, quote, suckers because, quote, there is nothing in it for them."
Now, I also believe this, of course, but, you know, I'm not running for president. How do MAGA folks defend their God saying this? Well, that's the thing, Little Morphine Annie. You know, a lot of the terrible stuff that Donald Trump says, they defend or they play off or they say, well, actually this or well, actually that. But the anti-veteran stuff, Donald Trump and his administration have vehemently denied. You know, like, and that's usually a rarity, like the grab her by the pussy thing, the comments about, like the many weird comments about women and girls, so many of the stuff that he does, they play it off, right? They don't care that much. The veteran stuff, they deny because it actually is a, you know, it actually is something they worry about, disillusioning veterans. So I guess it's funny that he committed to the bit this hard. Yeah, they deny the Epstein stuff too, or at the very least, they would deny it if liberal media would ever bring it up. Would be nice. Would be nice. The J.D. Vance and Donald Trump bit, I don't want to. I feel like the main reason I'm interested in covering the Donald Trump bits is because of the energy levels on display, not the actual talking points. The talking points are always the same. How fucked are we? When did I say we're fucked? What are you talking about? Chatbot? What are you saying? The current liberal system does limit us to band-aid solutions, but that doesn't mean we can't be critical of those solutions. We need to be, as a matter of fact. If we stop being critical of the insufficient solutions, then we forget that they're insufficient. This is what happened to all of the labor parties, both in the UK and Europe generally, you know? Initially, they're like socialist parties who are going to work within the system and establish the material conditions for a socialist revolution in an electoral sense. And then all of them ended up becoming social democratic parties at best. And in the case of the UK Labour Party, like neoliberal, you know? You have to keep centered, you know? You don't want to get complacent. You don't want to think, that's about the best we can do.